And our next speaker is Arian.
This is what daily life looks like for someone with diabetes. Before breakfast, a finger prick. Before lunch, another. Before exercise, after exercise, just when you're about to sleep, you get the idea. For over 500 million people with diabetes, managing glucose isn't a single event. It's a constant invasive routine. That when a routine is failed, when a single reading is missed day to day, the consequences are serious. Diabetic coma, seizures, over time nerve damage, blindness, arterial stiffness. There is no regulatory approved, continuous, non-invasive glucose monitor that matches the accuracy of the invasive ones until now. Our device is built upon Raman spectroscopy, where we're able to detect glucose's unique molecular fingerprint directly from the biological tissue. But these signals are too weak for the detectors being used today to pick up. At Imperial College, we're focusing on the back end, the hardware, where we are integrating detectors that detect individual photons into our wearable with the aim of not only measuring glucose non-invasively, but also ensure the accuracy needed for medical use. We're raising $500,000 to develop our first working prototype and to reach design freeze. This would change the model of glucose care from invasive diabetes management to seamless metabolic tracking. And this shift has implications not only for diabetes, but for the broader future of wearable biooptics. Thank you.
So fingerprint tests, high accuracy on glucose measurements. Then you get like Abbott have these sensors based on interstitial fluid, where there's a lot of variability, yeah? So one's taking blood, the other's interstitial fluid, you're non-invasive. So my worry is, are you really going to be as accurate as a finger prick test? And what's the evidence that you have? Or what is the data set you need to collect to convince me that you can be as good as a finger prick test by not being invasive?
I'm glad you asked that. So with the finger prick test, like with the typical standards they have of the ISO 15197, there are even uncertainties even with the finger prick test. So they say like under 100 milligrams per deciliter, your detection can be between 15 plus minus 15 milligrams per deciliter. So there's still off 15 milligrams per deciliter of accuracies, but it's still used as a typical medical device. And with the CGMs, as you mentioned, it of course is a medical device, but it has this intervariability, whereas it has a delay. So although it is encouraged to be used as an insulin, people can use it as insulin dosing, it's not fully accurate, and they still encourage for you to use finger prick methods. And for our case, for the non-invasive glucose measurement, this is the reason why we're using the particular detector that we're using, because what we've noticed is that our signals, although they're very weak, with our detector, we're able to have a much higher signal-to-noise ratio, and this will enhance our accuracy. And with Dexcom, the CGMs, during 2018, they went through the FDA de novo pathway, and they made their own classification. I think it was the 21 CFR 862, where they made a specific classification that allowed them to have the CGMs as we see today. So once we reach the kind of accuracy similar to the CGMs, we will engage with FDA and agree upon a new classification for non-invasive glucose monitoring and go on from there.
If I'm not mistaken, was that the spectrostomy? That's yeah, thank you, you said it. Skin color is an issue. Not an issue, but is a factor and creates variability. How are you addressing that? How is that something that you're taking into account?
Absolutely. So that's one of the main issues, not just for non-invasive glucose monitoring, but for a variety of variables that we see today, from the Oura Rings, Whoop. But because we want to make sure that our wearable is in such that people can take into account to take their insulin doses and so on. We do take skin pigmentation extremely seriously, and this is why once we raise the $500,000, we will do different phantoms with different skin pigmentations, and this will prepare us further for the clinical trials. And this is what we're going to find out.